All right, man. We on, baby. You already know what it is, man. Back to the You Heard podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ben. It's the big brother Joe right there, man. What's going on, man?
Yo, another week, another week in the book. We setting off this week right with the portal and commitments, we setting
Yes,
it
man.
off, man. We setting it off.
Hey, the off season. I remember telling my people, I was like, "Oh, you gonna start a podcast towards the end of the season?" I was like, "There's no off season in college football no more. Ain't no off season. Always topics." Hey, man. Before we get into all that, let's get this intro going.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast.
I'm hurt, dog.
Ben and Joe break down all things Miami Hurricanes football.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no.
From hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
You heard.
I put my heart in this, dog.
Hey, man. Before we get started, baby, pull it up. Let's get this. Oh, come on, fam.
Damn.
Oh, fam.
Yo, you've been fronting the last 2 weeks, man.
Hey, you're right, man. You're right. You know what?
I got some Merlot. Let's get it.
Okay. Hey, you're right, man. I've been traveling, man. I've been slipping, drinking water.
I got some Merlot, man. Let's get it. I'll take it right out the bottle.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. This about to be a crazy podcast. Hey, man, look.
Let's go.
This has been a crazy week. You know what I'm saying? It started after our last show started, all the Kormani rumors started popping up, right?
Yeah.
We're like, oh man, is he leaving? Is he not leaving? And what? So let's jump back to that. When you were seeing the timeline get flooded with that, what were your thoughts with it, man?
Oh man, it's recruiting. It's recruiting season. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I want to see if I'm talking shit. I want to see if Coach is the closer. Like, hey, I want to see if he the closer, man. I want to see what he can do. So that's all I'm thinking, man. It's recruiting, man. We going at cats. Kormani McClain, the best player in the nation in my opinion. You know what I mean? He's number one in my opinion. So, who gonna stop recruiting him? You know what I mean? Nobody. Saban definitely not gonna stop. You know what I mean? Florida, not whoever. You would be unwise to stop. So it wasn't nothing to me. You know what I mean? I just want to see if we really got that guy in recruiting or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all.
I think seeing the timeline go crazy. I don't know if I did tweet somehow or if I didn't. I was just like, I'm gonna just wait and see. I had the same feeling. I was like, right now, and I told you one of the last shows, right? I was like, we're in the room now with players we were never even in the building with.
Facts.
Right. So like we in that room with Sabins, Kirby Smarts, you know what I'm saying? Ryan Day from Ohio State. We in a different room now, which this is big boy hunting. Like we going after Kormani number one in my book too. I don't think whoever they got, I was an Arch Manning number one. Nah, sorry. Not my guy, bro. No. Hey, listen. Nah. That's based off last name alone.
Like not even the best quarterback, man. He ain't even the best quarterback.
Man. No, I got like 6 quarterbacks ahead of him, but that's a whole different conversation.
Neither here nor there, man.
Yeah, man. So see Kormani, I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna just wait. Like Mario ain't gonna let this happen. Like Mario knows Mario's been doing this big boy recruiting. He knows how Xavier's works. He knows how this works. So I was like, all right, we'll see. So that was like Wednesday, Thursday. You start hearing little whispers of, oh, he's not possibly gonna. He doesn't have time to line up the travel. Friday, he's got a game Friday night for going to States next week, and then and Saturday Mario's doing the in-home. I was like locked in. I ain't even worried about it. And then the infamous loafers in the picture, bro. You think Mario's loafers only come out for recruiting, like because you don't see him any other time, man.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, he's definitely, he definitely a professional, man. He's definitely about that respect, about that professionalism, and he's going into homes, man, and he looking to close the deal. So he got to break the loafers. He got to break the Gucci loafers out, man.
Fan, because it would be less professional if he did it in shorts, right? Like if you showed up trying to be like in a UMT shirt or UM polo and shorts, like bro, if your knees are out, you ain't about that business.
Yeah, right. Like, facts, absolutely not.
Ain't no way. You can't be out there like that. I don't think Saban owns a pair of shorts. You know what I mean? Like that's how business like he is. So
yeah,
bro. Like people are
and he learned from the best. Yo, Mario learned. He learned.
Yeah, Mario took notes, man. Like it was seeing the caliber and the size of players that we're getting now. And this ain't no disrespect to guys that were here, man. You know that's not what we about, man. We leave that for other people in the timeline and shit like that. Like we ain't about that. Nah. So seeing the size of players we getting, the speed, bro, we got the number one player in the nation locked in. We got possibly Pancake Honcho coming. You know what I'm saying? Let's fingers crossed, man. Possibly.
Son, that's my favorite recruit in this whole joint. Kormani's my guy. Like Kormani is 1B, but Sampson is 1A for me, man. You know what I mean? And apparently, you know, coach is going in home on Tuesday. That should be the lockdown. You know what I mean? Yeah. That should be the lockdown right there. So
no, look, I don't want to be. We don't want to be the podcast that makes fun of other programs, but I couldn't help myself in roasting Florida with that trash ass hotel room that they had them in. Listen, I've stayed in Gainesville, right? I'm just gonna. I don't want to
try. Yeah,
I've stayed up in there. I've stayed. I know exactly where that was, right? I know exactly where that area is. That is one of the worst experiences of a hotel I've ever had. Now, not that alone, but the shitty towel, right? Look, this is purely based on the picture that Samson put out. That shitty towel trying to be all, I don't know what with it. And those two, listen, unless Billy Napier's kids drew those pictures, that's the only reason why I won't. That's the only reason I won't disrespect it. But if those were college level students that drew those pictures, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Right. Is there a better option in Gainesville to stay though? Like, do they have, you know what I mean, Hyatts and you know what I mean? Do they have high-end hotels?
I have not seen anything of substance or quality in that area. Now it's look, not to disrespect the city, they're building up. You know what I'm saying? It's a very small town. It's kind of split between like two different main roads. More country than Miami, obviously.
Sure.
But their options are limited, right? Like it's building up, but their options are limited. Yeah. So I felt like Samson was trolling, right? Like those are the two pictures. That's all you had. Like your whole room ain't decorated, Gator. You know what I'm saying? Like your whole room should be flooded. Like you got cheerleaders, you got spirit squads or whatever the fuck y'all got over there. Like you're a public school. Do better. Yeah. You're a huge, you know what I'm saying? You're a huge student body. You got to do better than 2 drawings with marker and a towel wrap, bro. Like, what are we doing here?
I mean, he probably didn't want to show the bag. You know what I mean? It was probably a bag.
That was on the other side of the picture.
That was right. He didn't want to show that, man. You know
nah, you can't.
But yo, keeping it a buck, some players like the small town feel, man. Not saying Samson does, because I don't know, you know what I mean? But some players, you know, would rather, and their families would rather have the small town feel of a Gainesville or something like that, rather than Miami, because everybody thinks Coral Gables is like South Beach or something.
No, very small.
It isn't, you know what I mean?
Not at all.
You know, Miami is just perceived as a, you know, huge major, you know, it is a major city, but you know, the university is not in Miami.
No, it's all of Gainesville is the University of Florida.
Right.
Like that's the other thing of it. Like you could tell when school's in session and when school isn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the people, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff, but I guess I don't know how big Brockton, Massachusetts is where Samson is from.
Yeah.
Right. So he could, and I'm not, look, small town. Some people like it more. Some people are more country. Look at Daryl Jackson leaving Miami to go to Florida State. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
that's
that. Yeah. That's just, you know I mean, that's, you know, his mom.
His mom and everything. So some people don't react well to the city, and that's fine. I'm purely roasting it on the fact of I know that bed ain't comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That you could be in the country, you could be in a smaller town, but your bed can still be comfortable. I live in the country. I live in a town right now where only 2,500 people live year round and like 12,000 when the snowbirds come down. So I live in a small town. I'm about it. I know it. But that bed, it couldn't have been comfortable. I know his feet were hanging off the bed. Like he felt that box spring. It ain't a good vibe, bro. It's not a good vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're going to see, man. We're going to see on the 15th. That's coming up. You know what I mean?
4 days from now, man.
He's been very quiet on, what's going on. So we're going to see. We're going to see if that in-home closes the deal, man.
Yeah, facts.
I hope so.
Now, we had a big commitment today at 1:30. We had Chris Johnson. I think we kind of knew that already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of whispers, like he tried to throw some smoke out there where he was complaining about the offense, but to get a running back of this caliber and speed, which is why I guess we might not miss Rooster as much. You know what I mean? Similar kind of size, a little bit bigger already. Still wanted to put on maybe 15 to 20 pounds just for his overall health and durability. But, man, Chris Johnson is a difference maker, man.
Yeah, definitely. Do we see, though, just going off the speed, different type of speed thing.
Yeah.
It seemed like over the years, cats who were perceived as speed demons, when they get in that uniform, man, they don't. It's like they lose explosiveness or something, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We was talking about Brashard. You know, we saw good things from Brashard, but the explosiveness, you know what I mean? Malik Curtis, everybody was talking about explosive. Even Rooster, it kind of fell off a little bit. Even when we had Jeff Thomas, what he was doing. Like, you remember that boy out of high school and the All-American game. He made them fools. He was looking crazy, and then it seems like I hope of course Chris comes in and does his thing, but it just seemed like, man, when they get here, that explosiveness ain't there, man.
All right, man. I guess we're gonna have this conversation. I think I don't know if I told you this on the show or off, right? Because we talk a lot. Yeah. So I say, like, a lot of this shit don't make sense to me, right? Like a lot of players that, like, we see a Chris Johnson not have that speed. Let's hope that trend. Saw Jeff Thomas, other names you mentioned, had that next level speed, and they just never translated. And you could go down the line of a bunch of players that dominate. You know what I'm saying? Like that were strong and dominant in high school that never transferred over. Like, I don't know what's been happening for the last 20 years and multiple administrations to have that kind of energy to it. You know what I mean? Like, because it's been different coaches, different players, different assistant coaches. There's no, so like the argument or the discussion that we always have is like, is it the coaches or the players? I got that question the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we this bad? Do we continue to lose more than one game because the coaching, or do we continue to lose 2 games more than one game because of the players? Why are the players not developing? Why do their bodies look exactly the same as a freshman to a senior? Their bodies never, you know what I'm saying? Like, their bodies never really change. Why did it take LT till this year to, like, October to be like, oh no, eating right does make me feel better? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it take that long for everything? Like, is it putting on the uniform? But also, like, the kids that leave here, besides Lawrence Cager, as of yet, right? As of this recording, hopefully the guys that are leaving, you know what I'm saying, do their thing. Like, none of the guys that have left have really done, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it doesn't make, like, it doesn't add up for me. I don't get it. What you think?
Yeah, the last person who really translated in the skill position area to me was Duke Johnson. Like, Duke Johnson was the same cat. You know what I mean? Got busy, everything. But other than that, you know what I mean? There's people who had good careers. Travis Homer in Dallas, DJ Dallas, they were good, skill position wise. Receivers, like, I mean, Harley maybe displayed some of that.
But that was like the 5th year. Like, he didn't, like, the first 4. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But yeah, these guys, it seemed like they just get hand loose. I don't know if it's them personally, just getting here and not doing the work. I don't know if it's the schemes. I don't know, man. I don't know. But regardless, CJ coming through, he's fast. He got good size. Apparently, I haven't watched him live. I've only watched highlights, but apparently he's versatile. Apparently, he can line up in a slot. He can, line up in the backfield. He can, you can do a lot of things with him. So, yeah.
From his highlights, he has this this flexibility, I guess, that when he's making these runs, like he's just doing like a slight hesitation and he slightly curves his run. Like I saw one run that he had where he had two high safeties and he ran right down the middle in between both of them. Like he was gone from that line so fast. And I'm watching, I was like, oh, he's gonna get tackled. Like there's linebackers there. Oh, he's past the linebackers. Oh, but there's safeties, and he's past the safeties. Like that's a different level of speed. Hopefully that translates. I mean, that guy was what, a 100 and 200 meter state champ for the state. So hopefully that transfers over and that work ethic continues.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like we don't ever want to get hyped about one single player, because one single player is not a championship team caliber make. It has to be a mentality. It has to be the work ethic as a unit. So hopefully the guys coming in have that, and the guys going out have that with their new program with a fresh start. You know what I mean? Which leads us to the next topic right here. Old Canes and new homes, man. Got 3 former Miami Hurricanes committed to Southern Methodist University, SMU.
Is it just 3? Who is it? Elijah Robbins,
Keyshawn Smith, and Brewster.
I think Jordan Miller just committed there too.
Okay. So 4.
I feel like he just transferred there. I think I just saw it.
Look, I'm gonna ask you this question first before we get into their transfer in there. By the way, shout out to them. Congratulations, man. You get to continue your college experience. You get to get a degree. Hopefully go to the league and ball out. I'm never gonna speak negative about none of y'all, man.
Absolutely.
But my question to you, being the conspiracy theorist that I am, how come none of them wanted to go to Manny? Is it too soon to ask that question, or is it like obvious that like Rhett would have been that guy if we didn't get Mario as an HC? Like so if 4 guys on both sides of the ball, right, 2 and 2, are going to Rhett, and not did they have a conversation? Did they just not want to talk to Manny because they were sick of his ass too? Is Groove the only Manny fan left? Like, I just got questions. You know what I mean? Like, what you?
So you can look at it. You can look at it both ways, though. Like, maybe they're not. I'm not saying they ain't good enough, but maybe they're not takes for Penn State. You know what I mean? That's something different. Maybe they're not takes. I don't know what Penn State roster look like. I don't know, who they got coming through. I don't know. But, I don't know if they were reached out to, by man. I would think that they would have visited, like, because this is the only like they went here and that's it.
This is it.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? So it's a familiarity there. I don't know who else from our staff, the old staff, is on the SMU staff either.
I think there's a tight end coach on there. I think our old tight end coach went on. No, or he stayed. Like I know there's somebody left, like an offensive line coach or something like that. Somebody went with Rhett.
Because I know most of our defensive staff went to Duke.
Yeah,
I mean, like D-line coach and Coach Ish is at Duke. So. I don't know, man. I think, the lure of actually playing, for somebody like Elijah, for somebody like Jordan Miller is appealing. You know what I mean? You telling me, yo, I'm going here. I'm going to be that guy. Yep. Of course, I'm going to work, but I'm going to be that guy, and I'm actually going to play. Hey, man. SMU, SMU's a good program. In Dallas,
good area too. Dallas is look. Yeah. I've been to Dallas, you know what I'm saying, for business reasons, and it's a crazy town, man. Like you got a lot going on there. Texas is popping. I'll give it to that, man. So again, shout out to them. I'm glad. Like I said, my biggest thing was making sure that their college experience continues. They're able to get degrees because you never know what the future holds, man.
Yeah,
I think,
and we got Avante still.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
most of that secondary.
He may end up in Colorado. Yeah, he may end up in Colorado with Prime.
Because that's the other thing, right? Like you alluded to is like this is that weekend. Like we were supposed to have down here Javion Cohen, but Mirabal's, I'm saying, trying to lock stuff up down. Maybe doing an in-home with Pancake Honcho and then having him an in-home down here. You never know what he's trying to do, right? Yeah. So you have these players transferring. You have people in the portal. You have recruits because signing day is 8 days away now, 10 days away, right? So all those spots got to get filled up. So you have to almost get in there early and commit. You know what I mean? Because if you stay out there too long trying to find what spots lands for you, you might not have anything, and your career is over.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you think it's that quick, but there's 1,500, 2,000 players in that portal right now. There's only so many spots you can land. Yeah. So you gotta hop in quick. You gotta be decisive. So maybe they weren't takes at Penn State, but if this was the place they chose to visit, this is the place they, you know what I'm saying, put on that uniform on. That says a lot to me.
Yeah, because a lot of cats. Yeah, a lot of cats don't want to take a step down, so to speak. You know what I mean? Go to a group of 5 program, which, a lot of them programs is popping. And as we know, you can get to the league from anywhere, man. Yeah, if that's your goal is to get to the league, you go to a group of 5, you get busy, you get invited to a senior bowl or something like that, get invited to the combine and you win there. Just show out, get busy.
Yeah, man. There's multiple paths and multiple lanes to make it to the league, man. It's not just one. You don't just have to go to Alabama.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
So got them dudes taken care of.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask you about Joshua Horton, right? Earlier commit this week. See, he got his 4th star.
Yeah.
I did not know, homie. I did not know this young man was so big. I did not. He's 6'6", 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
280, 285.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like we talk about it all the time. Purely on size, right? Like we don't know what he's gonna do when he gets here. He could ball out as a freshman, be a 3-year starter, leave to the league and be a Hall of Famer, or he might. We don't know, right? Like at this moment, we have no idea. But just on body alone, right? This is different than we've recruited that I can remember. Like it's been 4-year starters aren't this big.
Yeah. That's what hurts me, man, because it could have been him and D Jack. You know what I mean? You just rolling big. You just rolling big men out there, man. Him and D Jack, man. Oh man, that would have been crazy. And what's ill about Horton is his arms, man. Like his arms are long, son.
Like
I'm looking
you see this off screen.
Like, yo, yeah, son. His arms are crazy long. That's tremendous, man. He gonna get that coaching, man, and it's gonna be problematic down there, man. But that depth in there is really concerning me. So hopefully, I know we rushing to get cats. Amar Moten is gonna be a problem. And I hope we're not throwing offers out there just to fill that room.
No, you can't.
It seems like it may be happening, but just to fill that room. You know what I mean? Because we have to fill it.
We did. Yeah. I think we did that last year and it got us in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, we still got Harrison Hunt. He hasn't gone anywhere yet. You know what I mean? I think he's
Lichtenstein is still there.
Yeah, he on his 7th year. He the new Scott Patchett. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real, yo.
He out there, and that's fine. We need grown men, you know.
Yeah.
So that depth is going to be important, man. And we gotta continue to recruit that position well out of high school. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, look, Josh Horton was a hell of a pickup. It looks like everybody's leaving North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like there's some guys I wouldn't mind getting.
The corner.
There's some guys in the portal that you can get for that 3rd or 4th year. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna need those guys, but we don't need them to stay. Like I don't want a freshman. You know what I mean? Like it's cool because like that holds up a scholarship for a long time. I mean, like I want that like sophomore, junior, so they're gone in 1 or 2 years. I'm better with that just because of the timing of it. So but yeah, man, no doubt. we got to get 1 or 2 more. I'm feeling like maybe 1 more defensive lineman. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that'd be a good one. Who knows who that could be? I mean, we could still get the dude from Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's who I was. Yeah, that'd be a good look.
You know what I mean?
And they just offered the D tackle that's like 6 foot 270. From where he come from? Georgia State, maybe somewhere down there.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. Like that might be good, like on a speed package or something like that. But that's a little bit too small for me. But
yeah, but the comparisons is Aaron Donald already. So that's what people say.
If that's even a mention, that's huge. I mean, again, like we don't know these kids past like what their grades were like. You know what I mean? Like it could be a graduate transfer, so good like already has a degree, got his grades up to make it to a university like Miami that is a private school, a little bit harder to get into. Y'all know the history.
Yeah, but yeah, and I'm sure he's been evaluated, and they made the offer. So cats in the building that know football, so they made the offer. You know what I mean?
I don't think I think we've done an injustice on not really talking about the fact that we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Alonso Highsmith is in that building, right?
In the building,
and they have. I don't know if other podcasts have covered it. Like I'm sure they've like alluded to it or whatever, but I don't think. And you mentioned it was like, oh, you got to have people in the building to like evaluate these people. I'm saying going into the portal. I think that's been Alonso Highsmith's like. Not main job because the dude's a 30-year NFL executive,
right?
But I think that's what he's been doing, right? If he's offering kids or young men, you know what I'm saying, transferring and doing, he's looked at all the tape,
sure,
and he watches football way differently than anybody you listen to, or watch or watches football. That's a different kind of man. Like he watches football with. I imagine Alonso Highsmith sees a play and sees all the intangibles that the kid has. You know what I mean? Like he has like some X-ray vision with the shit just because he's been around this so long. So they've already set themselves up for that. You know what I'm saying? Going forward to him being in charge of that and taking some of that off Mario's plate because Mario's specialty is these high school kids coming in.
Yeah, right? Locking that up. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah,
that's
who do you think pops next, man? Who do you think pops next?
You saying
we know Bain and Sampson is committing. Is that the same day?
15 to 16.
Bain on the 16th. Yeah.
Bain is the 16th. Yeah.
Sampson the 15th. But outside of those two, you had 7th McGee.
Fletcher.
He was on campus.
Yeah.
Fletcher's supposed to be coming next weekend.
Yeah, big weekend.
He's not committing until February, most likely. Cohen apparently supposed to get seen in the middle of the week.
Yeah, he's in home with Mirabal.
Yeah. So, who we think popping next, man?
Now you want my prediction, like what I really think is gonna happen, or like what I hope will happen? Because those are just two different beasts, right? Like
what you think is gonna happen.
Man, listen, all right, I'm gonna be honest with you, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? Fuck it. I think we're gonna go. I think right after the in-home, Cohen commits. Like if let's look. If he's waiting for the meeting. That already says way too much. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Like, because Javion Cohen could go anywhere right now. Like, you don't just wait for Miami when Alabama's still knocking on your door because you could go back. Georgia's knocking on your door. Auburn, you know what I'm saying? Like, you name an SEC. He's one of the best offensive linemen, period.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for Miami, that's huge. Yeah. I don't know what. There's that part of me was like, but we were 5-7. I don't know what we've done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it a buck, right? I don't know what we've done to be like, oh no, I want to wait to talk to Miami. Like, is that really like our history speaking for us? Because Miami fans that we are, we really think to ourselves like, there's nothing like this shit when we rocking. Like when we rock, there's a reason why we were 8 p.m. on a Saturday night when we were 4-6 or whatever the fuck we were when we played Florida State. Nobody, I don't know when Florida State's playing. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? I don't go out looking for them. So if Javion, let's say he gets the in-home on the 14th, then you got Honcho on the 15th after an in-home because that PJ is getting all the miles, and then you got Bane. I think we go 3 for 3, man.
So that's 3. That's back to back to back. We going Mike
back to back 3-peat.
Mike back to back to back.
Yeah. What you think?
So the next person is Javion.
Yeah.
In your opinion, that's who pops next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you get Javion. Listen, man. I think we know, right? We know that dude is different, man. 2-year starter at Alabama. That's different.
Yeah.
You get him, that sends waves, bro. Like you don't get a Javion. That's not just like getting like some 2nd-year starter, no disrespect, from Oregon. You know what I mean? That like had a kind of solid career, never really hit. Nah, this is 2-year start. You get Javion that's waiting for your meeting, waiting to talk to you. You telling me Honcho ain't gonna be like, damn.
He was outside too. Javion was outside. He was playing.
Yeah.
He was outside. He was in them trenches. Trying to block like Jordan Davis, you know what I mean? Blocking Jordan, going toe-to-toe with JD, man.
Yeah, man. JD's the biggest human being I've ever seen wear a jersey. I didn't know they made it.
Yeah, I seen him at high school. You know, he went to my son's high school. You know what I mean? So I've been watching him, man, and I was like, yo, big and athletic. They used to put him in on goal line packages at fullback.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Now, let me ask you, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with me. Am I being too Miami fan when I'm saying that the signal of him wanting to wait to talk to us is a big deal? Or is that just him trying to, let's keep it a buck, trying to level up the bag from whoever else? Because you know what I'm saying, we're the most public out there with our NIL that's completely legal. Right? Everybody else still trying to do it the old school way.
Yeah.
We're public with our NIL, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you think that's what
I don't think we have to be. I don't even think we have to be because we're a private school. I don't think we have to report anything, you know?
Nothing. We don't have to tell them nothing, man. What you think about
he be wild.
Man. Like, yo, son, you don't got to tweet everything, son. Like, stop putting up dudes' bank accounts out here, man. Son.
He be wild. Somebody got to take his Twitter access, man. He got to have somebody that tweets for him, man. He can't.
For real, man. That. PR people, man. Get right with that.
Yeah, but I don't think just interviews and he doesn't strike me as the cat that's playing games. That's first and foremost. I feel like he knows what he wants to do.
Talk about Javion.
Yeah, Javion. When you're an old lineman and you got Cristobal and Mirabal, you have to consider that if you're an old lineman. That has to be, for who's developing old line. Like, you have to consider that, man. So I think, wanting to speak to Cristobal and Mirabal is important to him because of that simple fact. He know he's going to get developed. And he know he's a need. That's another bottom line. He knows he's a need. He's gonna come in here, unless he gets injured or some dumb shit happen, he's a day one starter. Like, let's keep it a buck. He a day one.
Yeah, no, it's not even a question. 100%.
I honestly feel, and this is another thing, I honestly feel maybe one person. One in a possible on some space shit. One in a possible player from last year is gonna start on the O line next year.
Rivers.
I don't even know. I think if Zion come back, I think he's gonna get his spot back. But I don't even know if Rivers, because fam, if you giving me 3 in the middle, if you're giving me guard, center, guard, you got Cohen, you got
Inez Cooper,
Inez. Well, I guess he started. I guess he played last year, but Inez, and you got Connor Lou coming through, who's he's gonna be ready. He gonna be ready, and I guess you can say Rivers, but
but even then,
I don't think it's a guarantee.
The debate. Yeah, no,
I think Jakai is my guy, but I don't know about that spot as center, brother.
I think Lou got it.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you got right tackle. You know, John Campbell did his thing, but I feel like one of Francis or Samson can take them 2 tackle spots too. Yeah.
I think I'm with you 100% on that. Like, it's debatable if anybody that started this year even makes starting next year.
Facts.
I for me personally, like, I don't want, it's because I've seen what I needed to see. Like, these aren't like freshmen that were blowing coverages. You know what I'm saying? These are like these weren't freshmen that couldn't gain a yard. These are sophomores, juniors, or seniors. So I'm all good on starting with freshmen and letting that chemistry build.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then letting them build for like that sophomore year, that junior year. Because these dudes are day 1 draft picks, right? Like, if they develop the way these guys can develop them, these are day 1 draft picks. These aren't day 1 starters. That's what's different now, right? Like, we've had day 1 starters before. Zion was a day 1 starter. Isn't a day 1 draft pick, right? Francis, Samson, you know what I'm saying? If we get him, Javion Cohen, if we get them, like, these dudes are day 1 draft picks.
Yeah,
very different league we fishing in right now, man. It's very different.
Yeah, that's
so
facts.
I'm with you on that one, man. I think that whole O-line is going to be different next year. I'm good with starting 2 freshmen because then you could really sell it to. I think Cooper at right guard. I think that's locked in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right guard or left guard. Put him in there. I put Connor Lewis day 1 starter. I think he's just that dude. I got him as day 1 starter. Jakai backing him. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, this is gonna be a whole. I think us will know the roster, but people who are casuals aren't gonna know who the team is next year. It's gonna be so different.
Facts. You're gonna have to do some homework, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, let's get into this last topic because that was a whole segment we ain't even planned for right there. That's just how we do it, man. Let's get into these hot topics, man. Twitter's been crazy. We already talked about it with the Kormani, people overreacting and all this stuff. The thing we wanted that you mentioned that I was like, yo, man, let's save it for the show. The back and forth of Gaddis, man. What are we doing? Like, can we get a firm answer? Like, are we waiting for after early signing day to make the moves? Because then that's when Brandon Ennis is allegedly going to sign in February. Like, are we waiting for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? What's popping, man?
The one thing we do know is that we not going to know nothing. You know what I mean? We already know how Mario worked. Put that
on a T-shirt. Put that on a fucking T-shirt right there.
Yeah, we know how Mario worked. But we going to have to, I think, from what I've heard is that if Gaddis is not being retained, Mario's not going to straight up fire him. He's going to make sure he gets another job or he going to wait till he get another job. You know, that's first and foremost. So any staff changes, I think, will be after signing day, man. Like,
facts.
For real. I don't think there's nothing going to happen until after signing day. I think Coach knows what he's going to do. I think he already knows what he's going to do. And I think he translates that to recruits, man. Like, yo, this is what's happening. This is the plan. You know, that's what it is. You come in or not. You know, you come into or not. But, you know what, man? The Gaddis thing, man. I'm going back and forth because I feel like as fans, we can't. we contradicting ourselves, so we can't say
all the time.
Can't say Mario needs another chance. All these people need second chances because of the circumstances, right? The O-line was terrible, new system, blah, blah, blah. But Gaddis don't get a second chance. We can't say that. That don't make sense to me. Why doesn't he get a chance to coach a totally healthy offense, revamped O-line, new receivers, Jake back? Why don't he get that chance? If everybody else get it, why don't he get it?
Nah, you're right. Like, I think I'm gonna try to literally have both arguments, right? Like, I think for as fans as a whole, right, they forget that the failures of this offense was a lot of the blame that Gaddis would get, right? We talk about it all the time. Like, it sounds so simple because we just toss it out. Like, if this O-line can get a yard, a lot of games are very different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look, we know what the roster is, what the talent according to evaluation and all this shit was. We saw what it actually was. We saw it, right? Like, we saw the performances, we saw the bad body language, we saw all of it. We watched every second of this shit. Mm-hmm. So if the team can't get a yard, that can't be on Gaddis. If the team needs 4 plays and still can't get a yard against Middle Tennessee State, and then the next play you give up a 98-yard touchdown, that's also not on Gaddis. Like, the reason why fans put it all on Gaddis is because that's the easier thing to blame, right? Because a lot of people, let's keep it a buck, a lot of people have hyped up what we've recruited because based on the papers that said, hey man, we got all these 5 and 4 stars.
Yep.
We haven't, like we talked about at the beginning of this part, we haven't seen that transfer to the field in 20 years.
No.
Like,
here and there, you got a couple. You got a Kenny
Phillips that'll pop in there. You know what I'm saying? You got a Duke Johnson. You haven't had a consistent group of players to set a tone. You've had guys that showed up like, yo, man, I want to play for the school and I'm gonna bust my ass. But it never seemed like people followed them, right? You never saw multiple Duke Johnsons on one team. You never saw multiple. Who's the running back that was before him? Lamar something.
Lamar Miller, boy.
Lamar Miller was a baller. You never saw son. Lamar Miller was a baller. But you never saw multiple of those guys, right? And you never saw a surplus of those guys. So, and so you have that over 20 years. We can't act like Gaddis isn't getting a fair shot. That's who we're blaming. That's who me and you have gone back and forth and blamed and not blamed. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and you ourselves recognize it, and we go like, I mean, I don't know if, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it the offense or is it the talent or is it the coaching? Is it the coaching or is it the talent? Because we ourselves don't know. Just keeping it a buck. So if that's the offense Mario wants to run, right? Because that is the offense he wants to run. That's the offense he ran at Oregon. That's the offense that got him to beat the shit out of Ohio State 2 years ago at the Horseshoe with that offense with no quarterback and no starting defensive end. Like, we got to also recognize that. Like, we talk a lot about, oh, Mario can't game day coach. Mario beat the shit out of Ohio State. Yeah, he lost to Utah twice, but that's a rivalry and a different personality. Like, beating the shit out of Ohio State, that was a future college football playoff. That's huge. Yeah. So, if that's the offense Mario wants to run, you almost have to give Gaddis another year. You know what I'm saying? What's the, if that's already what you want to do and you got the guy in the house, why are you gonna ship him off to bring in the same kind of offense? Like, that doesn't make financial sense. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna pay this guy $2 million or $1 million to leave or whatever, and then pay another guy another $2 million. But now you're a private school, so your funds are different, and you're also trying to build $165 million practice facility. Like, what is? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't blame Gaddis. Like, you can't, but if you want to, go ahead. Like, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I understand, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I'm either way, man. I mean, if he's going, then he's going. You know, I'm either way. I just think the thing is, like, all right, you keep him, and then if we got more of the same next year, now you've waited, when you had the signs, you had some of the signs, whether people were hurt or not, you had some of the signs because people weren't hurt all year. Like, but, so I'm either or, and again, for the fans, if you're talking about Mario's the savior and you got to trust him, in all things, son. Like, you can't trust him in some things and some you can't, you got to trust him.
The only way I say he's got to go is if it's a personality clash and a teaching style clash.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Like, because if that's the offense you want to run, but he's not teaching it, implementing it right, and he's also berating and belittling, you know what I'm saying? Like, putting the onus on the players and not looking at himself, then that's different, right? Like, it could just be a purely business decision. It might not be, you know what I'm saying, the lack of yardage on the field or the lack of points or all this stuff, like the perform. It could just be like, man, this guy might just be an asshole.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
the reason, my bad. The reason
you good.
I can lean towards him leaving is because I don't like the OC not being the QB coach thing. I don't like that because you got a QB coach who's with your quarterback, and then you got an OC, and I don't like that, man. I feel like the OC needs to be the QB coach. I just feel like it works better that way. And I feel like it's a clash. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the main reason for me.
Yeah, I think Ponce, and there's a good chance Ponce and Gaddis don't get along. I mean, they didn't know each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's very different. Like, look, before we started this podcast, we didn't know each other. But we also don't have a high stress situation where millions of people are watching us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a very different pressure. Be like, hey man, y'all motherfuckers gonna be the one to change us. Yeah. You better fix this now. You better fix this now. That's a lot, man. Like, just seeing like the little interactions on Twitter was like, damn, this is a lot. And I'm not pressured to do shit. Like, we just, you know what I'm saying? Me and you just talking. Like, I don't have to develop these kids, communicate with these kids. So it could be it could just be an HR issue, right? Like, it could be like a thing where maybe these dudes just don't get along. Like, there's a disconnect where Gaddis doesn't like Ponce, Ponce doesn't like Gaddis, Ponce thinks Gaddis is an idiot for trying to teach TV to do this when Ponce is trying to do this, and that's why maybe Gaddis can't focus on developing these wide receivers because he's beefing with Ponce. Like, there has to be a change there. So that could be the only reason. But for people who watch this team, like, this offense is going to be this. Like, this is what Mario runs. It could just be the offensive coordinator could just be moved on purely for a business HR personality decision as opposed to like what he's called on the field. That could be it. You know what I'm saying? People forget that shit too. Like, this is an office, this is a building. Like, these are co-workers. They gotta get along. Like, you know what I'm saying? They could leave after a year and go somewhere else. But you know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah.
What else you got for hot topics, man? You got anything else?
Nah, man. I'm just ready for the 15th, 16th. You know, signing day, early signing day, late signing day. You know,
all the signing days.
Ready for that, man. Yeah, man. My son playing in the championship Wednesday night. You know, so
is it going to be on TV, man? Where can people watch it? Because I want to watch.
Yeah, it's the ESPN app. It's gonna be on the app.
That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so yeah, they in Little Rock, Arkansas. You know, so yeah, man. So it's a good week, man. Good week coming up.
Yeah, man. I've been to listen, that might set a good trend, man. You know what I mean? Your son gets a chip. And that could send a trend for, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could send a real positive vibe to the rest of the thing, man. Yeah, I've been to Little Rock, man. That's one small ass airport, bro.
Yeah, we driving out there, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd rather drive.
Bring my son back. That's 11 hours though, man. Shit.
Son, but that airport, that airport is so small. Like, you could see the plane, and like it's one of those like where you gotta like walk on the tarmac, get on the plane, and then take off. I ain't with that shit, man. I hate flying, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, see, that's the
I can't rock with it,
man. Just ready for the week, man. Ready for some closing, and I'm anxious to see where Samson go, man. That's the one cat, you know what I mean, that even without him, the O-line haul has been good, but with him, man, we anchored for 3 years, man. 3 to 4, we anchored.
When you get somebody like Samson off a 5-7 performance, right? That sends signals to O-line next year and the year after that. Like, yo, man, look what they did off a struggle. Yeah, you know what I mean, if next year it isn't that, it's gonna be a whole different beast, man. So
because you can't next year. You can't. We was 5-7. You can't go low. You gotta improve 2 games at least. You know what
minimum.
I mean? You gotta flip that.
You gotta be 7-5, 8-4. Like, let's not be unrealistic. If this team doesn't go undefeated, we shitting on them. That's stupid. No, this is building something. Like, I 7-5, 8-4 next year, bowl game, bowl win. You ramp, you know what I'm saying? You ramp that up. You keep building the depth because again, next year, same shit as this year. No scholarship limits. You'll bring in, send people out, keep cleansing out who you think isn't right. You know what I'm saying? You line them up somewhere else, and you do that, man. Hey, before we get out of here, man, you got any ideas on flips that we might possibly have, man? Because Ennis is waiting till February, and so is Mark Fletcher, right? Allegedly, from what we've hearing.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 guys.
Stanquan, man. I think Stanquan Clark, may come through. I would like that too. I like that kid too. That'll finish up the linebacker recruiting, man. I think that'll be a good look. Apparently the Jakeem Jackson thing has been put to bed by him. Okay. So it doesn't. Nobody else. Don't look like, right?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else either.
Nah. Nope.
But I also didn't see Josh Horton or Collins Etchemonpong.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, being a flip. So who knows?
There's definitely some people that may want to be under the radar,
Yeah.
So
some people want to do the table game, you know what I mean? And I'm cool with it. So that's, you know what I'm saying, this is a one-time chance, man, that you get to have all eyes on you, man. So we got 10 days, 8 to 10 days to National Signing Day, depending on when you listen to this, man. But we out of here, man. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments. We always chop it up with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Joe, my brother, we're going to do this again. It's all about the U.
All about that.